Welcome to Savage Kitchen. We're, against my better judgment, baking again today. We are going to be making Irish soda bread, which it occurs to me in Ireland, they probably just call this soda bread. But this is traditionally something that you find around St. Patrick's Day. In my family of many, many Irish people, the Bradys and the Clearys, it's actually my Italian Nana that makes this the best. So we are going to make this in Nan's honor. This is a simple bread, sort of like a banana bread. We're going to be using baking soda as the leavening agent. That's going to help it rise. And because it's me, we're adding whiskey. And in particular, we're going to be adding Jameson Irish whiskey because it is Irish soda bread. So let's get into it. You are going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Then you're going to need, I can't remember if I did a half a cup or a third of a cup of sugar. I'll put what I actually did in the notes below. I'm pretty sure I went third of a cup of sugar. And then you're going to use a little bit of baking soda and a little bit of kosher salt. So the spin up for fun that we're doing for St. Patrick's Day for this is that we're adding raisins that are soaking in Jameson Irish whiskey. Not everybody loves raisins. I get it. In fact, my pop famously, Nana always says that Frankie doesn't take raisins. But in this recipe, I love raisins in Irish soda bread. And I think that soaking them in the whiskey is going to add this really awesome burst of flavor. I saw Brunch with Babs. If you follow her on Instagram, she's a grandmother that cooks. She has a cookbook. She is incredible. And I was inspired by her to do this. So I'll link to that below. So then wet ingredients for our bread, we're going to need a little bit of buttermilk and a little bit of heavy cream. I'm not arbitrarily doing this. I was actually only able to find low-fat buttermilk at the store, which is bullshit. I don't know why low-fat buttermilk exists. And in a recipe like this, it's actually going to screw with the recipe. So I'm going to add a little bit of heavy cream to bring that fat content back up. Also, we are going to be using European style butter, and in this case, particularly Irish butter. Unsalted, because we're going to add our own salt to this, but this Kerrygold butter is amazing. Personally, I find Irish soda bread really to be a vehicle for butter, because butter. So for St. Patrick's Day, we are going to be making a whiskey honey butter to go on top of our finished Irish soda bread. It's going to be delicious. So I already have measured out my 4 cups of flour, and now we're going to add in sugar and then a teaspoon, really bad with baking measurements. Tablespoon would be a lot. This is a teaspoon, right? Okay. Teaspoon of salt. I really need supervision in the kitchen. And then another teaspoon of baking soda, and make sure your baking soda is fresh. Otherwise, it won't react with the buttermilk and rise. All right, so we're just going to give these a quick whisk to blend them together and create a little bit of a little crater in the middle, like a volcano crater. A well. I don't know the technical terms. Crater. I've been watching this documentary on Scientologists, and I've got the cover of Dianetics in my head. That shit's fucked up. Sorry if any of you are Scientologists. Get out. It's so scary. Oh my God. Lisa Remini's saving the world. Okay, so now, hold on. Let me consult I'm looking at a variety of recipes to get this right. All right, Babs does 1.5 cups of buttermilk. I've seen other ones that do 1 1/3 cups. I'm going to go 1.5 cups of buttermilk and then add, I don't know, an extra dash or 2 of whole cream because we're very precise here. All right, so 1 cup. Probably should have whisked the egg first, huh? And then we're going to add just a little bit more heavy cream. Let's just go like, I don't know, what's that? Go 1/4 of a cup. Sure. In an abundance of caution, considering my track record with eggs, I'm going to crack this into a separate bowl so that I don't have to redo all of the buttercream. Look at that. Fine. All right, give this little guy a whip. Into here. We're gonna put this aside while I go to our unsalted butter. And like I said, I'm kind of putting together a combination of a few recipes. They all use different measurements for how much butter. The recipe I'd seem to like the most calls for 6 tablespoons of butter, which is really close to like half of this. Let's just go with half. So you want the butter to be cold. And we're gonna dice this and then add it to our dry ingredients, our little volcano crater or well, as I was informed it's called. All right, that's all my patience will allow for. Okay, I have to put my hair back for this, hold on. Okay, so now we're going to break the butter up into the flour before we add our liquid ingredients. I love this, it's very therapeutic. Into oh yeah, this should be done with your hands. Well, first of all, before I do that, let's try our raisins. Who doesn't love a good whiskey soaked raisin? Oh, wow. What a good snack. Seriously. Great for the kids bothering you. Get some raisins, soak them in whiskey, shut those little bastards up. Don't tell anybody I don't have kids. I'm gonna start a parenting blog. How do normal people learn how to do this? Oh. Sorry, Mom. My mom's not really a baking type. She taught me how to make a mean vodka martini, but did not teach me how to bake. That is the damn truth. When I was in high school, we probably can't publish this, but who cares? So my mom worked at the court, and she would call me up on her way home after like a particularly like rough day. And my mom's great, by the way. This is not a disparaging story whatsoever. But anyway, she would call me up on her way home and say, okay, take the bottle of vodka, put it in the freezer. Then go get a martini glass and put that in the freezer. And it would instruct me on how to make her a vodka martini to be waiting for her when she got home. I think that that's excellent parenting. Okay, that seems, we're going with it. I gotta mix some raisins in. It might be too late, but it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be okay. I'm more concerned about how to get these whiskey-soaked raisins in here without having to wash my hands again. It's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to wash my hands again. God damn it. Okay, hold on. Because I'm a problem solver, we are going to take the whiskey that our raisins are soaking in and strain it into a glass because I'm not letting that whiskey go to waste. Have we met? Come on. There we go. Look at that. That's going to be perfect to drink while we wait for this to bake. Okay. And then, according to Bab's advice, we're going to dust these with a little bit of flour before incorporating them into our dough. That still feels very, very sticky. I want to make sure that these raisins get distributed relatively evenly. Sorry, Pop. Pop would hate this with the raisins. My Pop is sitting at home right now going, what is she doing? She's ruining the bread with the raisins. I just needed a vehicle for the whiskey. Okay, that's right. It just needed that little extra. Look how cute. That's adorable. Okay, and we are going to put this in a greased cast iron skillet into an oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees. Put this in the bottom, and we're going to score the top of this so that the center bakes nice. There we go. Okay, into the oven for 45, 50 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. And we're back. So we have our beautiful Irish soda bread. It smells amazing in here. This cooked for about 55 minutes at 375 in the cast iron skillet. So just took this out and it's hot, but I'm going to transfer this to a cooling rack because it's still getting a lot of residual heat off of this skillet and I want that to stop. So I also don't know how I'm going to do this without burning the shit out of myself. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, hot. It's really hot. Okay. There we go. Like a professional. Whew. While this cools, we are going to make a whiskey honey butter to pair with this. Really excited about it. So let's just put this aside. We're going to take stick of softened butter. Again, I'm sticking with this European style. Well, actually, this is more than European style. This is actually European butter. This is Irish butter, salted, some honey, and some Jameson. However, I have my Jameson from soaking the raisins earlier. Let's taste this. Ooh, okay. We're just going to drink that. I was going to put it in this, but that's delicious. I'm just going to drink that. We'll put regular old Jameson in here. Damn.
Tastes like raisins?
No, it tastes like happiness. It's a little bit sweeter. Like there's a little bit of earthiness and sweetness from the raisins. Jameson in general has a very, to me, like vanilla overtone to it. It's super mild. Like if you want a gateway into whiskey, Jameson's your best bet. But wow, soaking some raisins in it and then straining that, who knew? We're gonna call that raisin washed Jameson. I think this is gonna be a thing. Okay, anyway, whole stick of butter softened. I've had this sitting out while the bread was cooking. Put this in our bowl. And you'll notice the European style butter, the reason I was pointing that out is because it does have a different fat content than other styles of butter, American style butter, for example. So European style butter requires, I think it's 82% fat content versus American requires 80%. And you wouldn't think 2% would make such a big difference, but you'll notice this is a completely different color than a lot of American style butters. And it also has a bit more of a sour taste. So it's not as neutral and mild as an American style butter. So it carries a little bit more flavor. Usually there are cultures added, so that gives you that little bit of tartness and that higher fat content, just a little bit more flavor. And we're gonna add, I don't know, count with me. That's probably like 2 tablespoons. Let's go 3. And then we're gonna add just a scotch of whiskey. So tablespoon, probably end up doing 2 of Jameson, but we're going to start with 1 because once it's in here, we can't take it out. And then we're going to whisk this together, but at first, just to incorporate the ingredients, I'm just using a spatula to sort of mix everything together. You could also do this with a mixer, it would probably be a hell of a lot easier. I might pull one out. Okay, I give in. I got a hand mixer. We're gonna do this the easier way. I would have sucked as like a maiden churning butter. It's just not my life. All right. There's not a lot better than whiskey, butter, and honey together. Like honestly. Let me follow this up with a sip of Jameson. Might be the perfect day. Almost. I don't know that it even needs that extra bit of honey. Let's give this another. I think it's perfect. Now we are taking our compound butter and I'm just going to put it in a dish that's a little bit more manageable. This will keep in the fridge. If you have one of those fancy butter storage thing that like stores them upside down, you can do that. Have you ever seen that? Like you store it upside down in a water bath and it keeps your butter longer? Crate and Barrel. No, I'm not sponsored, but I should be. It's time to give this a try. This is still Still warm, but definitely manageable. Oh, and look at that. It's cooked perfect on the bottom. I'm a little nervous to cut into it, but let's try it. Okay, so also there's a couple of different ways you can cut into soda bread. You can cut it as a bread lengthwise like this, or you can do it in pie-like slices like you might do for cornbread. I don't know which way we should go here. I think we're gonna go slices as if it's a pie, just because, I don't know, it's the kind of mood I'm in. And that way too, we can see if it cooked all the way to the center, which I really hope it did. May not have cut all the way through. Oh, I did not cut all the way through, but oh, that looks amazing. Oh, it smells really good. You can see it's cooked all the way through, but I just didn't cut all the way through because I'm afraid to fuck up my beautiful plate that my friend Rose made. I really should have done this on a cutting board. There we go. Okay. But, oh my God, it's really good. It's just doughy. It's a little bit sweet. So let me turn this so you can see. Take just one more sip of raisin Jameson. Let's give this a taste without the butter. It really is delicious. I don't know. I got to get a piece with a raisin in it. I don't know that you can taste the whiskey, but maybe that's because I'm also drinking whiskey. Don't judge me. The raisins, amazing. They are a little bit juicier than usual. You get just like a little zip out of them. It's not overwhelmingly whiskey flavored at all though. Like you wouldn't have to freak out about making this for your kids. Okay, and let's do a little bit of butter. Or a lot of bit of butter. Because butter. Oh my God, that's so good. You gotta try it. Oh my God.
I'll try a piece of
Okay, I feel like you can taste the whiskey in the butter. Oh. All right. Wow. Oh my God. This is really, really good. Very easy to make. Wow. Irish soda bread with whiskey-soaked raisins, whiskey honey butter. This, I think you should make this all year long, not just St. Patrick's Day. This would be amazing for Easter. Be amazing for a Tuesday. Wow, it's really, really good. You know, since I'm such an inexperienced baker, maybe this could have baked a tiny bit longer. I don't know, but this does have, to me, the hallmarks of an Irish soda bread are a slightly crunchy crust and a crumbly interior, and that's exactly what this has. I'm gonna add just like a little more butter. Oh my God, this is so good. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will put the exact recipe on my website. If you didn't know, savagekitchen.com. There's my blog there. It has blog entries with full recipes for all the things that you see me do here on YouTube. And a few extra. Shockingly, I don't film everything that I do. And make sure to follow along on Instagram. So until next time, cheers, friends.